What kind of music do you like? Say you like pop music and you like to hear music as you do things around the house. And you turn on the radio to listen to music, but there's heavy metal playing on the radio. And you hate heavy metal music. What do? Well, you would probably change the dial on the radio to a different station, a different frequency. You might even turn the radio off because it's not enjoyable. But would you just keep listening while thinking, I really wish I could listen to pop music? Sounds ridiculous, right? But that's what many of us do in our lives. Welcome to Closer to Your Higher Self. My name is Jerome, and I want to help you create a life you love. You are more powerful than you know. Please like and subscribe. In the description, there's a link for free guided meditation, and my info is in the description if you'd like to work with me one-on-one to become a better version of yourself. So, as I said before, it sounds ridiculous to listen to music you don't like. But we do the same thing when we're with people that we're not a match for, or we're alone when deep down we want to be in a relationship. The frequency we're tuned into isn't going to deliver what we want. Imagine telling your friends there's no good music on the radio. It's all heavy metal. Now, your friends may agree with you to make you feel better, but inside they're saying, well, if you change the frequency, you could find some music you like. I mean, many of us will sit with people who are happy in their relationships and tell them that there are no good people out there. So we're going to talk about what I mean when I say frequency. I'll give you examples of the wrong frequency that many of us are tuned into and how to create the right frequency. And I'm speaking from experience. I've been guilty of being on the same negative frequencies that I'm going to talk about. The first incorrect frequency we're going to talk about is the need to earn frequency. You might be tuned into this frequency if you're the classic overachiever. You got the best grades in school, you never wanted to disappoint anyone, you felt responsible for others' happiness. Ultimately, you felt like you needed to do something to earn love and acceptance. Deep down, you don't think you could be accepted just for being you. So you're constantly trying to prove that you're worthy of love. This was me at one point. I got the best grades in elementary school, graduated valedictorian of my high school, went to a great college. I was always helping or fixing things, all in an attempt to prove I was worthy of love and acceptance. Some people get tuned into this frequency because their parents instill this idea of needing to be the best. But my parents didn't do that. I have 3 siblings and my parents treated us all the same. Only I was the overachiever. So the kicker is I did this to myself. Somewhere along the way, I told myself that I needed to earn love. Now, when the frequency that you broadcast is, I need to earn love, guess what kind of person you attract? The kind of person that requires you to prove yourself. In that person's eyes, you're only as good as the last thing you did. And the tasks increase in difficulty. It's like trying to fill a bottomless hole, but you keep trying because you need to accomplish your goal. And it doesn't occur to you that that person should love you just for being you, because you don't love you for being you. Now, many times the partner you attract on this frequency won't even know they're doing this to you. However, there are many people that will take advantage of your needing to prove yourself. The second negative frequency is the desperation frequency. If you're tuned into this frequency, you need to be available for your love interest every second of the day. You desperately need to be around them. If they're only available on Sunday at midnight, then so are you. You had plans with your friends, but you canceled to spend 15 minutes with them. Constantly calling or texting, losing your mind when they don't respond fast enough. Thinking for hours about what their response means. You also like everything they like. You hated sushi before, but now you love it because they do. You love whatever series they're into, not to mention the music. You hated EDM before, but now you're an enthusiast. This is a desperate, frenetic energy. You are deathly afraid of losing this person. You come across as needy. Now, people can feel this and it's not attractive. In fact, this kind of frequency actually repels people. The third negative frequency is the I'm so different, no one understands me. Now, if you're tuned into this frequency, you've convinced yourself that you're so unique that there's no way there could be a match for you. People just don't get me, so that's why I can't find anyone. There are over 8 billion people in the world. I think you can find one. And you've probably come across someone that would be good for you, but because of your frequency, you can't even see them. Remember, as we're talking about frequency, when you're tuned into that heavy metal station, the pop music is still there, all around you. But you can't hear it because the receiver is not set properly. You could have walked right by a lot of people that were suitable for you, but you would never be aware of them. And when you correct your frequency, you might find that you're interested in a different type of person. You might find that you don't like that loud life of the party person so much. That person you used to think was boring is now appealing. In many cases, what we think is love is actually just a familiar feeling. Those butterflies, that nervousness, sometimes those are warning signs. Psychologists say we often choose partners who unconsciously recreate the relationship we had with our most difficult parent. In other words, if you have unresolved issues with your mother, your subconscious will choose a person to recreate that relationship dynamic. Going back to the radio analogy, if your receiver is set to a frequency that says, I need to prove myself, and you want a person that loves you for you, you need to change your frequency. You can't magically make your radio receive pop music when it's set to the heavy metal station. Let's change that frequency. Let's do an exercise. Imagine you're sitting at a table and your best friend or someone you're really close to is sitting across from you. They're telling you about a difficult day. They just had a fight with a coworker. How are you being toward this person? Hopefully, you're being present, supportive, and compassionate. You're probably helping them to reframe the fight so it's not as bad as it sounds. Eventually, they feel better, and maybe even you're laughing after a while. Now, ask yourself why you love this person. Is it because they've done something for you? They may have done favors for you, but that's not why you love them. If I keep pushing you, asking you why you love them, you'll probably say, I just like them, or we just vibe, or something along those lines. Now let's do the exercise again, except now you're sitting at the table and you're sitting across from yourself. How do you handle things in this scenario? Are you supportive and compassionate? Or did you call yourself stupid for what you said to your coworker? Would you ever treat your friend this way? Of course not. So why do you treat yourself this way? The key is to treat yourself the way you would treat that friend or loved one. Use kind words toward yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Get to the point where you can spend time alone with yourself. And I don't mean scrolling on your phone, actual time where you're with yourself and your thoughts. We're talking about self-love. Self-love is a deep, unconditional acceptance of yourself, regardless of your abilities or accomplishments. You have compassion for yourself and you treat yourself kindly. When I was learning to love myself, I kept a picture of myself as a child on my phone's home screen. This is something that helped me quite a bit. I could dismiss myself as an adult, but I could have compassion for this child. I could forgive his mistakes. I could protect him and make sure he wasn't mistreated. I would suggest trying that exercise we just did, sitting across from yourself as a child. The people tuned into the negative frequencies are looking for acceptance. When you have unconditional self-acceptance, you're not looking for it outside of yourself. So now you're not tuned into a frequency, you're broadcasting a frequency of love. You can't help but find your equal. People will feel your broadcast. They will find you. It's like when people get into a relationship and then suddenly they get all this interest and attention that they weren't getting before. It's because of that love signal. Self-acceptance and self-love isn't a one-time thing. This is something that you have to cultivate. You have to cultivate a relationship with yourself just like you would with another person. Spending time with yourself and doing nice things for yourself help to cultivate this relationship. But just be aware that doing things for yourself is not necessarily self-love. That's considered self-care. Self-love is the unconditional acceptance of yourself. Be honest with yourself. Are you tuned into a negative frequency? If so, it's great that you know, because now you can focus on creating that frequency that will bring you the love of your life. Let me know in the comments how it's going with creating your frequency, and I'll see you next time on Closer to Your Higher Self.